So here's going to be a quick tech tip for you guys. I went to start the car earlier today, and I turned the key, and it instantly lost all power. No power to the headlights, nothing to the interior, no horn, no nothing. I tested the battery with the voltmeter. It had 13 point whatever volts, real good. Still nothing. So I took off the terminals, I cleaned the terminals, and guess what? Not anything at all. So I probed around with the voltmeter a little bit more. I went from the positive on the battery to the starter solenoid, and there should have been power, but it was getting 0 volts. So to test this, I grabbed my set of jumper cables, and I went ahead and went straight to the positive on the battery, and I just hooked it straight to the starter solenoid. And I had to get this clamp because it wasn't quite tight enough to make a good connection. And then I cranked it over, and here she is, just sitting here idling like a beauty. So I'm going to go ahead and replace both positive and negative cables. I guess after 40 years, they get a little bit of corrosion. I mean, who would have thought? But I wanted to drive this car today, but I wasn't able to because it wouldn't start. That's the first. I've washed the car, I've cleaned the windows. I'm going to have to wash it again before I can polish it and wax it. But we can just see how the paint already looks after a simple hand washing. This looks absolutely beautiful. Like, the glass is just beautiful. It's got 2 small little nicks from rocks on the passenger side, but other than that, she is just in great shape. I have conditioned the top with some marine vinyl cleaner or conditioner. It's got a nice shine to it now. I'm going to give it one more coat. If you guys do that, try not to get it on the glass. It makes a major mess. It's hard to scrub off, and it takes a lot of time. Now, over here in the interior, I cleaned the panels with a little bit of Windex. The driver's door pull was just filled with grease. Like, it had black grease and grime all over that. It's a lot cleaner now. Now coming into the cabin, we're just sitting here idling. Not quite 60 pounds of oil pressure. Just see how much quieter it is. Just drink that in for a minute. This thing is way quieter on the inside with the doors closed. It's good to sit in a garage, barn, whatever, with your car doors closed and the car running. It's good for you. But no sounds out of the motor, just running beautifully. We're already up to, it looks like about 100 and I would say that's 160 degrees temperature. And I'm going to probably go ahead and cut it off here in a second and get some new battery cables. I'm going to go ahead and get longer ones because these ones, they won't reach like with the battery positioning. I wanted to put one of my other good batteries because we're still running the battery that's from 2013 when I bought the car. I bought the car in December. It had a battery from 2013 in it. We're still running it. It just cranked over real slow, but I think that's because it had a very poor connection. But it started. But no, this car is just turning out absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to see how it looks when I wax it, polish it, and make it look better. All of the oil pressures, this old 302 likes the 1540 that I put in it. I mean, just look at it. Smooth as could be. You can balance. You know what? Next video, I'll go ahead and get a glass of water, set it on the air cleaner, and you can just see how smooth this old motor's running. Yeah, I mean, it's got broken vacuum lines. That's okay. But just look how smooth she's running. And I like how it's running with this. That's funny. But yeah, it is going to be ready for more driving once I change out the cables. Right now we're running with no positive cable. Here's the positive cable. Look at that. It's running without it. That's pretty cool. How simple could a 40-year-old car get? I mean, that's just awesome. Nice looking hood emblem here. All the water spots on the bumper. But I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. And then I'll get some new battery cables and we'll have this thing more reliable. Still, It's only got 57,689 miles on it. I forget what it was when I bought it, but it wasn't much less than this. I think it was 55.9 or something like that. This thing would sound pretty good with some long tubes and glass packs. What a nice car. Now, coming over here, I'll show you what we've got currently going on with my truck. I am still working on the Super Duty axle swap. I am currently trying to center the axle underneath the truck before I can weld in the perches. I still need to set the pinion angle. I'm just gonna eyeball it. That's what I did on the last one and it was perfect. Currently, I can see the pinion angle needs to go slightly down. Maybe 3 degrees or so. Now, to set these perches, you just got to measure from backing plate to the start of the perch and get them even on both sides. Make sure they're looking straight. It would be ideal if I would not have these 4-inch lift blocks, but that's how it came from the factory, so that's how I have to run it so it sits right. I also got these tires mounted today. These are my Cosmo mud kickers. They're 13.5, 37 inches tall. They've got some real good tread on them. And guess what? This one's a little fucked up, but I'm still gonna run it. It's gonna stay on the rear, so if it has any shakes or anything like that, it's at least got about, it looks like 3 factory-looking holes. The others are a little bit wallowed out from either someone having loose lugs on it or not tightening them. I'm just gonna run it. I can always replace that rim later and put the tire on the other thing. But all the others are in real good shape. They're gonna look real good on this truck. The front axle is basically done. All I need to do for the front end is just do the brakes, which involves swapping out that master cylinder and booster for the Hydro Boost that I upgraded to. Here's my other 2 tires. I don't think this radiator is gonna be adequate for this motor. It is the Champion 4-core. We're gonna see what happens. It's not like I'm gonna be towing anything once I get the truck running. I mean, it's not like I have to tow this trailer 200 miles in the middle of the summer. So, you know, that's okay. It's good for it. Yep.